Yeah, we're live.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're meant to play a video now, but we didn't. So, hey everyone, and welcome to today's live Q&A. I'm Katie Keith, founder and CEO at Barn2 Plugins.
And I'm Sam Waynes, and I am the video guy. I run the YouTube channel, as well as a bunch of other marketing-related tasks, including these live streams. So it's great to have you all here. I know quite a few people have already pre-submitted questions, but if you're watching this live, you can definitely submit new questions for us. We'll get to them as soon as we can, depending on the topics. We don't want to jump around topics too much because it's a little confusing, but we'll try to stick to the focus of the plugins that we're talking about and get to your questions as soon as we can.
We've just been notified that there might be a problem with posting comments directly on YouTube. So if you are watching this on YouTube, then Sam, do you have the best place for them to go to? They might need to go to the StreamYard page. So yeah, if you go to barn2.com/events and find it, then it should be embedded directly in the page. So go to our website, barn2.com events, and add your comments there if you have questions.
Yeah, and I will say that I don't know about the comment issue, but we tried to look into it. I made the video public on YouTube, and we'll just have to see if we can fix it. Maybe it's a connection between StreamYard and YouTube or something. Okay.
Yeah, but it's only whether you've got questions, so do that on our website.
Awesome. It's great to have everyone here.
So company news then. So we've got one big product update, which is that we have just, I think yesterday, done a release of Document Library Pro, in which we've added new templates for your document libraries. So I'll just show them to you quickly now. So previously there were already styling options for Document Library Pro, but you had to do everything yourself. So this new update has added a design tab where you can choose between these pre-designed templates, either for the table layout, or if we go down a bit, we can also choose between design templates for the grid layout. So that's the default one you already had, but we've got all these other ones like dark one, neutral one, and same for the table. So what you do is you select a template and use that as a starting point. So you might like this one best. And then once you select it, it will change these options below, as you can see, and then you can further customize them to suit your brand color scheme and make them exactly how you want. So you now have a lot more control over how to style your document libraries. The other company news is that we have added some extra discounts to our discount center. So we basically have a customer discount center, which is for existing customers who so when they buy, we send them a secret link. Sam, have we? Yes, we've got a banner here. So this is the public version of the page, which doesn't include the discounts. So this is for everybody. But when you become a paying customer, you get a different version, which actually tells you how to get the discount. So that's exclusive for our customers. And what's new is that we've added 3 more discounts. There was already over 60. So there's absolutely tons of deals on other WordPress products and services. So the new ones are 30% off the Callium theme, which is a really nice theme. Sam and I actually met with the author of the theme at WordCamp Europe last week, didn't we? And had a chat with him. And as a result of that, we've negotiated 30% discount for our customers. It's a good theme for any type of website, but it particularly focuses on WooCommerce. So that's good for a lot of our customers.
Yeah, I was testing it out. Sorry, Katie. I was testing out the theme on my demo site, and it's also compatible with Barn2's plugins, so that's even better.
Yeah, well, all themes should be, but yes, it's always good to confirm. And we've also negotiated 15% off Link Whisper, which is an AI-powered plugin that helps you with your internal links. So, for example, it scans your site and decides where you should be linking internally in order to get better SEO between your pages and things like that, but drive authority to your most important pages. And also 20% off MailTrack, which is an email delivery platform. So hopefully some of you will find that useful.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So do we have any live comments from people signing on? We can
Just got some hellos.
uh-huh.
So we've got Maria. Hey, Maria. You had a call with Maria this week, didn't you?
That's
So
right.
she's
Yeah,
one
we
of
had a
our
chat
writers. Yeah.
about YouTube Shorts. All right. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. And we have some pre-submitted questions. So we're going to start off with, or is there any company news I didn't
We did
see?
that. That was the discount and the document
The
library.
discount. I thought you were going to talk about Shopify.
Well, we keep talking about Shopify and we still haven't released our first app. So I thought, let's skip it this month. If anyone wants to know about our upcoming Shopify apps, then put it in the comments. But I know most of our viewers are WordPress people anyway. So I don't want to bombard them when we haven't even launched yet again.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so we can hop into the first plugin of the day, which is Document Library Pro. Oh, and that's my job. Oh,
why I'm waiting.
Yes, I see that. I honestly had it in my head that we assigned that to you. Okay, so I'm opening this up now.
Yeah, this is Sam buying time while he opens up the demo
Yes,
site.
exactly. Okay, here we go. Share this one. Okay, awesome. It's working pretty well. Maybe I'll try bringing it in a little bit like that. That's a lot better. There we go. So Document Library Pro is our best-selling plugin of all time. Is that right? Or it's nearly there.
Product Table is of all time, but that's just because it's older, basically.
Right. It's a wonderful plugin for organization websites or government websites or school boards or anything who want to get some organization of their various documents. There are different ways that you can arrange these documents. So for example, you can use the folder view, or you can even use this grid layout. If you want a simplified grid layout, you can also have this with the icons, or just the classic table view like this one here. It also comes with the category, tag filters, things like file types, and you can also customize and add other types of filters. It comes with search, download buttons. You can also have preview buttons. These multi-select buttons allow you to download multiple things at once, and so on and so forth. It's really great for organizing things. So what the plugin basically does is you can take your existing files and turn them into a new post type, which WordPress recognizes as a post type, and it's called documents, basically. So it's creating a custom post type just for documents. And that way you can list things like audio and video as well, and it all gets organized into the same table. All right, and we have a question. I will bring that up once I find it. So Colleen wants to know, how can I handle attachments? So she has board minutes, and there are committee reports that go with the minutes. So thank you for your question, Colleen.
Yeah, so basically each document by default has one file attached, which you can see on the screen here in the link column. You've got one download button, and you've also got a preview. So that is the same file that you can either download or preview in your browser. So if you want to have multiple download links for the same document, so in Colleen's case, that would be one document, one file for board minutes and one for an accompanying committee report, then what I would recommend is manually adding the link or button to that to one of the other fields. The easiest way to do that would be to put it in what we've got as the summary column here, which is basically kind of the main content of the document post on your WordPress site. So you can put anything in here. You can see we've even embedded audio and video. So you can very easily add a clickable link in there or a button. And if you're already using that for something else, like the summary of the meeting or something, then instead you could add a custom field. And there is a feature in Document Library Pro that lets you add a custom field, or you can do it with a plugin. So you add a custom field and you would use that for your committee reports. And then you would have the link column and also a committee reports column, or whatever you want to call it. So there are several ways that you can do that.
Mm-hmm. You can learn more about adding links as well using this knowledge base article, but I think Katie's solutions are a bit more specific than what's in this article, but still, you can learn more about it from here. And the next question is from Alfan. Is it possible to use Document Library Pro in more than one page and customize it? And the short and easy answer is yes, you can. And there are several ways to set up different documents and put them on different pages. So I just wanted to show, this is finding documents. Okay.
Maybe use the display options section, because that we have literally used the technique to create this demo site.
Exactly, yeah. So these are 3 different pages: the table view demo, and the grid view, and the folder view are all different pages. And it's running the same plugin on the same website with the same content, but there are 3 different ways of displaying that content. And are these set up with shortcodes or with the table builder?
Shortcodes, yeah. So you can use it with any page builder because they all accept shortcodes. So there's a very detailed page on our knowledge base about how to use the shortcode to list different documents on different parts of your site. So you might add like the shortcode with a specific category or documents by tag. There's all sorts of ways that you can choose which documents to display on a by shortcode basis. So you might have multiple, or actually on our homepage on the demo, we've got 3 document libraries on the same page, or you might have multiple pages with different document libraries.
Yeah, and this knowledge base article, Document Library Options, gives you all of that in detail. And I've lost track a little bit because we have multiple table plugins with table builders, and Document Library Pro also has that. Yes, or is it?
Yeah, so that is the correct link, and that's the page where it has the basic shortcode and then the ways to customize the shortcode to tell it which documents to display. And you can also do tons of other stuff if you want to, like choosing which fields to include in the document library on each page.
Alrighty.
So we've got a comment from a live viewer about Document Library Pro. So let's switch to that now. So Rebecca says, are you or any of your current clients integrating AI into Document Library Pro? If yes, examples? Well, we're actually not. We've started talking about how we might do that in the future for all of our plugins. For example, whether we might use an AI bot for people to make settings, or let's say if we go back to the previous question, in theory, you could use an AI to build a document library and create that shortcode for you. We haven't done it yet, largely because we're waiting to see how things develop and customers aren't asking for it. If they were, then obviously we would prioritize that much higher. So that would be one example. Of course, on the front end, an AI could read the content from the document library as well, so that would be a way for your users, maybe instead of using the search box, you could add a bot to your site using a plugin like DocsBot, or there are loads now, and then people could do it that way. But that wouldn't necessarily be part of our plugin. It would just be that the bot was crawling our plugin. And in terms of our current clients using it, we wouldn't necessarily know. This is a problem. We love seeing examples of how people are using our plugins, and where we find interesting ones, then Sam works with our customers to create use cases, whether that's an article on our site or a video. And so if anybody wants to tell us that they're using AI with our plugins in a cool way, please get in touch, because we'd really like to know and help promote your site.
Absolutely. Yeah, when we do that promotion, I can turn it also into a video. That the only caveat to that is I have to have a quick call with whoever owns the site and ask them the questions on camera, and then we can actually turn that into multiple different video formats as well as written format on our website for people to read and see. So yeah, it's a great way to promote what you're doing as well as giving our plugins a shout out at the same time. All right. We can jump into our next plugin already, which is WooCommerce Product Table. And Katie's going to demonstrate that for us.
Okay, so WooCommerce Product Table is our biggest selling plugin of all time. And it looks a lot like Document Library Pro, and I'll just show it to you now, but it has a completely different purpose. So WooCommerce Product Table creates a quick order form of your WooCommerce products on your online store. So while it looks like a document library, when you look closely, the actual features of the table are specific to selling products in a faster way. So you can select quantities and variations directly from the table, which is not possible in WooCommerce. As you can see far more products all at once, and you can also see more information about products. You could display a lot more information than we've got here as well, like attributes or anything. It would all fit onto your shop page or wherever you've got the table. You can select multiple products. You can see the cost of what you've selected. You can add them all to the cart. So it's basically a much faster way of buying products in your store. And I find that it works best for products that are about information rather than images. So if you're selling something like technical products, electronics, food, even stationery, all sorts of things where the user doesn't want to view a massive image as the first thing they see. They want to view information about that product. And let's look at one that's got even more information so you can see what I mean. So like this one it hasn't even got images, although you can have images. It's got all these different columns of information. So it's about products that sell based on comparisons between products based on data.
And it's our biggest selling plugin because it helps people make more money.
That's the idea, yeah.
Usually a good way to do it. Now, before we jump into the question about this table plugin, I actually want to introduce one other plugin which is involved in the question. So let me jump into Discount Manager, which is one of our more recent plugins we brought out, but it's doing really well and people absolutely love using this plugin because it makes getting discounts, setting up discounts a very easy thing. What should I show off? Maybe buy one, get one free. So this plugin can allow you, oops, I just press add to cart.
Well, add another one and go to the cart and one.
Yeah, sure. Let's add one more to the cart. So this plugin allows you to set up all kinds of different discounts, including things like buy one, get one free. So you can see at the moment I have 2 selected, and one of them is free, so the price is reduced by half. And so
And then at the top, you've got a notice.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So instead of $50, it's $25. So two units at $12.50 each. And up at the top, we have this cart notice. Congratulations, you received a free product in our buy one, get one free deal. So this is something you can set up with the plugin, these cart notices, as well as the specifics of how the discount will work. Oh, we still have product table showing up. I need to switch it to Discount Manager. There we go. This is Discount Manager. So there are 6 different discount types. There's a regular discount. There's like a free offer. There's also quantity discounts. Let's go back to the demo and we can see fixed price discounts, total spend. So basically you can enable discounts that only trigger when they're spending $100 or more, or when they have 10 items or more, or 10 mixed different items, or 10 of the same item. So really you have a lot of flexibility with how you set that up. One of the other really important things about this plugin is the fact that you can schedule these types of discounts in advance. So they'll be active for the period of the sale. You can set them up in advance, and then they'll stop being active after the period that you set. And that's really important for things like Christmas holidays, Black Friday. I mean, you're already busy with so many other things during that time. You don't want to have to configure your sale or have it running too long and you're losing money basically. So yeah,
You don't want to
that's
stay
how
up till midnight either to set your sale live and close it
yeah.
down at the end.
And I've tried scheduling discounts on WooCommerce by default, and there is such a feature, but first of all, it's only simple discounts, and second of all, you can't do it store wide. So that's why this plugin really does matter for people who want to set up store wide sales and all that.
Yeah, it's literally per product, isn't it? Or per variation. So that's a hell of a lot of prices to add whenever you want to run a sale.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the Tunwin wants to know, if I use WooCommerce Discount Manager and WooCommerce Product Table together, will the WooCommerce Product Table have dynamic price rows? So we have another demo page set up to show you the integration of these two plugins together. So this is what it might look like, for example, if you're using the two plugins at the same time. So you have all of the products listed like Katie showed in the product table, but then you have this discount column, thank you, and this will show you what the discount will be for the product. But you'll notice that the price doesn't automatically update to match these things, because first of all, they would need to actually add the quantity into their cart, and the discount would need to be active. This is just informing the customer about it. For more simple discount types, though, it does work. So are any of these?
Yeah, the beanie. You can see the crossed
That's
out
the beanie.
price.
Oh, yeah, this one
Sorry,
here.
the second beanie.
Yeah. There's two beanies. So for 50% off, you can already see this is a simple discount type. It's crossed out the old price and it's got the new price there. So it definitely does work in the table for the kinds of discounts that WooCommerce can apply on a per product basis. But for other types of discounts, you have to wait until you get to the cart to actually see the difference.
Yeah, and that's because, if it's calculated on the cart, then by definition, you can't be crossing that out on the product page, particularly if the discount is being used across, say, any 5 hats in the hat category. There's nothing to show on the product page. It has to show on the cart page. So that's why.
Yeah, so it's up to you to communicate that with the customer using these different kinds of cart notices and banners and things.
Yeah. And we've got a comment from Maria who says the cart notice detail is nice. So yeah, that's good. I think that really helps. This is the message at the top of the cart when you've taken advantage of a discount. I think it really helps to help close the sale. It's reminding the customer that they are getting a good deal. And if it is a time limited discount, then I would recommend using that to add some urgency. Say, complete your order before midnight, if it's the last day of the sale, or the discount will go, that kind of thing. So you can really use that to get that conversion on the cart page.
Mm-hmm. And there's a follow-up, several questions. Do you, as the customer of Barn2, get a discount if you buy these two plugins together? And also, is there a discount if upgrading from one site to lifetime plan?
So yes, if you go to the WooCommerce Discount Manager sales page on our website, then it comes as on its own. You can just buy it as a standalone discount plugin, or there's a 2 plugin bundle where you can buy it with WooCommerce Product Table, and that will give you 50% off WooCommerce Product Table. So if you want to use this combination of products, then you can save a lot of money by going to the Discount Manager page and buying it in that bundle.
Yep. And then for the lifetime plans, you do save money in the long run, of course. It's not strictly speaking a discount, but it's cheaper than having it renew every single year for, the lifetime of your site or whatever. So yes, if you're planning on having it as part of your site for, I think even just more than, I'm not sure the exact number, but it's like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, it's something like 3 years, 3.5. It's quite a while. So you need to think, how long are you likely to be using the plugin? And it's a gamble for you and for us, I suppose, because you're paying that larger upfront payment, but then we will guarantee forever support and updates, and you never have to pay again. So different people like different models, but yeah, it's not really a discount. You get a discount if you upgrade from one site to multiple sites, because the per site cost goes down if you buy our 5 or 20 site license. And you would also get a discount if you upgrade from a one plugin, one site to our all access pass. And that will give you something ridiculous, like an 80% discount on all our plugins, because you just pay once and then you have all 19 of our plugins. But upgrade to lifetime isn't really a discount. It's just a different way of paying.
All right. Absolutely. Was there any other questions about that one? No. So we can go jump straight into the next one then. Don't forget to leave your questions live in the comments, guys. If you have them while you're watching, we love to get those comments and answer your questions as soon as we can. So this is our WooCommerce Quantity Manager plugin, and we'll answer a few questions about this one in a minute. But basically, WooCommerce Quantity Manager, it's for setting limits on the quantity picker within WooCommerce. So say, for example, you want to sell items like pens, and you sell them, you want to sell an entire box worth of packs of pens. So rather than letting people select just one item, you want them to select 10 items at a time. So you want them to order 10, 20, 30. This plugin allows you to set that up. So this would be an example, the quantity increments. So here there's an increment of 5. And then when I click plus, instead of going to 6, it goes straight to 10 and 15 and 20 and so on. And this is just one use case, one example. Another example is the variation quantity rules. So if I choose my variation, then it says there's a minimum quantity of 10, a maximum of 50, and it goes in steps of 2 at a time. So from 10 to 12, 14, and I can get this all the way up to 50, and then it'll stop. I can't order any more than 50 of them. So any other main use cases I should show off, or maybe it'll come up in the question itself?
No, I think that's good. 3 things: minimum, maximum, and quantity increments, and that you can set them. I suppose we could mention it. You can set them per product, per variation, or at category or global level as well. So it's pretty fine grained as to how to calculate the quantity rules.
Yeah, Justin wants to know.
Except that there's a question.
Yes, Justin wants to know, does your quantity manager work at the cart level also? I need people to be able to add 28 singular products, or maybe 10 of one and 10 of another, then 4 of another and 4 to be able to check out. So this is the first part of the question. There's more questions to come from Justin, but yeah, let's go through this one first.
Yeah, so yes, as I just said, because I forgot there was a question on it. Yeah, you can do it at cart level or category or product or variation. So if you set it at cart level, then that quantity rule will be calculated across the entire cart. So they can have products from any of your categories, combine them, mix and match in whatever way they want, and they'll be able to add 28 or any combination of that across different products. So that's why you get that flexibility, because when you get into it, people use quantity rules in very different ways. Like this example is on the t-shirt category. So let's say they also have a shoes category that is unaffected. They have to buy between 5 and 10 t-shirts, but it doesn't affect the shoes. Or if you set that globally, then they'd have to mix and match t-shirts and shoes, which would be kind of weird for this use case, but it will work better for Justin's use case, where you sell more similar products.
Now, this person, Justin, who asked the question, also had an interest in the table plugin that we mentioned earlier. And the scenario they give is quite interesting. I have 27 products and I need customers to be able to mix and match these products to create boxes of 28. So ideally, they can add 28 of the 27 products, and this creates a box. So I'm imagining they can have 2 or 3 of each item if they want or more.
Oh yeah,
And then,
unless you've
yeah,
set a maximum quantity on that particular item, which you wouldn't.
yeah. Then they have to add another 28 before they can check out. So this would mean they would need 56 in the cart. Now, this would then work. So if the customer orders 1 or 2 boxes, they get a certain price. If they order 3 or 4 boxes, they get another unit price. And if they order 5 to 15 boxes, they get a cheaper unit price. And finally, if they go over 15 boxes, they are then charged the pallet prices. Okay. So the
Well, this is
last part is
getting more
about quantity.
complicated.
The last part's about quantity pricing. The first part is about the quantity rules. Yeah. Bulk pricing,
Yeah.
sorry, was the word I was going for. Yeah.
So Quantity Manager works with our Discount Manager plugin. So you can change the price based on quantity using Discount Manager, which we discussed earlier. I think there's no demo for it because it's not visual in the same way.
Yeah.
But that would work. So they all work together. I'm just hesitating about the box side of things because due to the way WooCommerce itself works, if you add a bunch of products like 56, there's no way for WooCommerce to know which 28 are box 1 and which 28 are box 2, because once they go into the WooCommerce cart and checkout, which isn't part of our plugin, they're not grouped. They're just 56 products. So if that was really important, then that might not be the best solution because they're all muddled up. You can sort of do it based on what order they were added to the cart, because the cart displays the products in the order they were added, but it won't say, for example, box 1 this and box 2 these products. So I'm just trying to get my head around, Sam, whether, say, product options could work better or something like that. And then they wouldn't be products, they would be options. So that's a bit complex if you want them grouped by box.
Well, we haven't talked about product options in this stream, but almost every other stream we've made, we talked about our product options plugin and specifically the pricing calculator. So that could also be a solution. The calculator could check, but that calculator wouldn't go across every item. It would just be for if you set up options for those items.
Yeah, what I'm kind of thinking is you'd create one product option group and you'd have, say, box 1, and then you would have maybe a checkbox for each product, which isn't a product, it's an option. And then you would have box 2, which would have the same 28 checkboxes. And our product options plugin has built-in quantity rules as well. You don't need Quantity Manager for this. And as you just said, Sam, you wouldn't need Discount Manager either, because you can use a price formula field. So it's if Justin needs stock control on all of those products, then this is not going to work. Don't bother looking at product options, because you'd have to create the options in our plugins so that they would be grouped in the cart and the checkout under boxes 1 and 2. So that wouldn't work. But if you don't have to manage stock for those products, you can just add them directly as options in our plugin, and then you get everything you need.
Yeah, I mean, bottom line, let's say simpler solution is just to use the quantity manager, and then maybe do, I don't know, some kind of cashback or something for the order.
The key is knowing what product goes in what box. I think that's the only limitation. Otherwise, it fully meets his requirement.
Yeah. I can't think of any other way to make it work on the spot, but maybe
or custom development potentially.
Yeah, maybe some smart person can leave a comment and come up with an idea for us. All right, thank you for the question, Justin.
Right, so we've got restaurant ordering now.
Oh, I've got that one too. Nice. Okay, share this tab. So restaurant ordering is a nifty little plugin for adding food items to WooCommerce and setting up an ordering system, um, all on WordPress. So as you can see here, we've set up a menu with clickable items, and you can add multiple quantities of them. You can also get, is this one set up with the light boxes? Maybe not.
No, or which ones? Choose a pizza. They're all variable products, so they've got the light box.
Right. So take, for example, a pizza product. I'm just trying to think where I need to click. Oh, yeah.
I think it's
Here
there.
we go.
You can set it so that the whole row is clickable, but the demo hasn't.
Thank you. All right. So this is an example of a variable product similar to product options, which we'll get into soon. And the customer can choose which items they want to add onto their pizza. And the images help to clarify that. They can even add a little note and then add the item to their basket or cart. There we go. And then the rest of the menu, they can, go through. And there are different ways to display this menu. So, and you can also have these hyperlinks for the different parts of the menu. I'm trying to think. Layout options. Here we go. So we did the one column with sidebar. We want the 2 columns. You can also rearrange the menu to look more like this. And there's a third option as well with 3 columns. So it simplifies the job of turning your WooCommerce shop into a restaurant menu. Now we have a question. And let me bring that up. Can we have a vertical tab with categories? Vertical tab with categories. Is that like a filter widget?
No, I think it means that, say where it says starters, pizzas, pasta, etc., they would be on the left, and then the menu would be on the right. So in our plugin, we only have the horizontal tabs with the links across the top, but you could very easily do that. So whatever page builder plugin you're using, you could add links to the different categories to vertical tabs. So all the page builders come with that sort of thing, or you can install plugins like a shortcode plugin or a blocks plugin or anything to add vertical tabs. You would then need to put a different shortcode from our plugin in each tab to show the relevant category of foods. So with the horizontal tabs, it all happens automatically, but because you're doing something a little bit custom, you're going to have to add a starters shortcode, which is easy, to the starters tab, a pizza shortcode to the pizzas tab, and so on. And then it works exactly as you've described. It's just a little bit more work, like 15 minutes or something, compared to using the plugin as it comes with the horizontal tabs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in short, it's easy to set up with any typical page builder. Yeah. Another question about the font. This is also set up by your site's theme, right? Or specifically how you set up your site. So the fonts are not taken by the plugin. They're taken from the site's theme, basically, however your site is set up.
Yeah, you can customize them with CSS. You probably wouldn't want to do anything radically different because they match your theme, but you could change the sizes or weights or something.
And this next question is about how to add a pickup option. And we have an integration between another plugin, Iconic's delivery slots plugin, and our own. And this plugin, when added to WooCommerce Restaurant Ordering, allows for up-to-date delivery slots to be reserved. So you can choose the reservation and what time, and then reserve it, just as an example. Katie, you know more about this plugin than I do.
Yeah, basically it's that. So you can use it for local pickup and or collection, and you can link different slots with different delivery methods on your site so that people can choose a slot, which is really useful for restaurants. It's very relevant.
I think a really relevant question that nobody asked but me, is how does the restaurant know when the new order comes in, and how can that be automated?
Yeah, that's quite a big question for this plugin, because WooCommerce itself will send an email for new orders, which may not fit with the workflow of the kitchen. So what a lot of our customers do is use WooCommerce Restaurant Ordering with any plugin that can print WooCommerce orders to the kitchen or to a printer. It doesn't, they don't know it's in the kitchen, but in this case, it would probably be in the restaurant's kitchen. So if, for example, there's a really good plugin called BizPrint, and that can print orders to a printer automatically, so the kitchen would then just receive them. There's also plenty of WooCommerce add-ons which allow you to send SMS. So it depends on the flow of your restaurant's kitchen and how they want to receive the orders. But because this is WooCommerce, literally every plugin that handles order notifications will work with our plugin, because our plugin is not changing the order in any way. It's just providing the nice food order form on the front end at the beginning of the process. Then the rest is handled by WooCommerce, so you can use it with any integration to notify orders.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's a great answer. Basically, you just set up a plugin that can handle that automation for you. And then I think even Zapier would also be an option, but you'd have to test it out.
Yeah, that's harder, but it can do everything.
Yeah. Wow. So we have gone through a lot of the pre-submitted questions. We would love to know if you guys have any specific questions for us in the comments. Please leave them, and we can get to them straight away.
Yeah, it says we have 175 live viewers, but we've only had a couple of comments. So yeah, feel free to ask questions.
You can even ask personal questions. You know, sometimes we get into things like that on this live stream when we get tired of talking just about the plugins. But yeah, let us know what you want to know. Otherwise, we're just going to jump into our next plugin, which is WooCommerce. Is it Product Options or Wholesale Pro?
I think Options.
Okay, good. So I've already got that loaded. The ultimate Product Options plugin with actually our developer showed me a working version of text previews. So very soon we are going to have text previews as well as image previews. Now, here's a question. What image do I have ready to go? Maybe if I do, let's not do that one. That's not going to work. Some screenshot. Ooh, maybe not.
Oh, this is where you look in your downloads folder and try and find something suitable.
Yes. Why am I doing this live? This is a bad idea.
It's normally me, isn't it? I'm like, what's the least weird picture?
Yeah. Oh, I think I know where to find it. If I go into my demo site, there we go, and then I can find an image.
So you're downloading an image just to upload?
No. Okay, let's do that one. Oh, okay. The color scheme's not great on this. This is just a background image for YouTube.
I think it looks lovely. It combines with the color nicely.
Yeah.
Or maybe you should change the color of the hoodie.
Oh, okay. Let's do that. Change the color of the hoodie, and then we can customize it. No, hang on a sec.
That should work. Maybe that's in the upcoming version.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh no, I changed it here.
Seen that work.
There we go.
Oh, yes,
there we go.
Yeah.
I just changed the picture. I didn't change the actual image,
the
actual selection. So the image previews, we've talked about them probably since December now, because that's when the update came out. But this is how you can preview what your hoodie will look like with your custom edition. And I can say with some confidence that the text previews are on their way. That's just one addition to this plugin. The other options are, well, we did the pizzas already, right? Let's do something different. Let's do this smartphone. So this plugin allows you to add a bunch of product options, And in this case, it's not just an option, but it's actually an entirely separate product that you can bundle together with your smartphone and add it to your purchase. We also talked about the pricing calculator. So people can enter their information about what kinds of dimensions they need or quantities or things like that. And the pricing calculator will spit out the correct price based on your requirements and how you set it up. Ooh, we got a couple of questions. So I think we can hop into those quickly. Yes.
Yeah, so let's go to Eric's question now, because that's about this plugin. So can you demo the price formula AI bot for this plugin? Yeah, so I've got that open if you want me to do it. So that one. So this is a new thing we released a month or so ago, where basically, so if I'm logged in, so yes, this is going to work. So this is a page on our knowledge base for WooCommerce Product Options, where you can create a custom price formula using AI. The reason is that price formulas are like formulas in, say, Excel or Google Sheets. And as you probably know, if you've ever used them, they can be really complicated. And that's not a limitation. It's a kind of benefit, because it accepts all the mathematical and logical operators and tons of logic and different variables, and you need to be pretty good at formulas. So we decided that to help our customers who want these complex pricing rules but aren't necessarily formula experts, we would create an AI bot to do it for them. So here we've got on the page just a text field, because it's AI, where you can say, oh, we need to think of one.
I was just thinking of one. So let's use the
okay.
Oh yeah, curtains. I was going to say, yeah, okay, sure. Go for it.
Charging 100 per square meter plus a fixed cost of 50. Is that make sense? I'm doing this on the fly, so it might be bad logic. So let's see what it does. And obviously, the more information you get, the better your field is going to be. So here, the AI's created a good response. So to sell curtains by width and length, you need to blah, blah, blah. And then it gives you the formula, which is width times length times 100 plus 50. And it tells you exactly how this works. But ultimately, you just need to paste this into the price formula field in our plugin.
After creating the parameters for width and length.
Yeah, so in the final paragraph here, it says you actually do need to use our plugin to create a width field and a length field, because these variables need something to refer to. So that will work just like the curtain product that Sam just showed you on the demo site, where you input the width, input the length, and then it will calculate the price based on this logic. So you can do things that are way more complicated than that, and it will work. We've tested it very extensively, and it should be a lot easier for you than if you had to write the formula yourself.
Yeah, writing math formulas is fun for a very small percentage of the population. One of them is our developer who worked on this feature. But for everyone else, he
does enjoy price formulas, yeah.
Yeah, for everyone else, it's pretty. That's what AI is meant for. Let's just say.
So we had another comment, didn't we? So, so Ian from Kestrel says, "What's your strategy for implementing block support throughout your product suite?" To be honest, it's very slow. So the WordPress block editor was released years ago now, but it's still nowhere near finished. And we have got some blocks in our plugins. For example, our WooCommerce Product Filter plugin has a block to insert a filter. Our Post Table and WooCommerce Product Table plugins have blocks to insert a table. But those are kind of limited, and that's intentional, because So with our table plugins, we could have built a really fancy block that allows you to fully configure the block within the WordPress block editor. But then what happens to the huge proportion of sites that use Elementor, which is a different page builder, or Divi, or Visual Composer, or Bricks, or whatever? So if we spent months developing these fancy blocks, then we're not adding the same support for those other things. So what we did with the table plugins was, instead of creating fully featured blocks, we created a central table builder in the settings for our plugins, which you then just insert using a block, because then you can equally add it easily in Elementor or Divi or whatever. So because I would say of the fragmentation of the page builder market, and also the fact that the block editor isn't finished, they keep changing things, and that means we have to do a lot of redevelopment work on our blocks. I would say we've been intentionally slow, and I'm sure that at Kestrel, which is a similar WooCommerce plugin company to us, they're making similar decisions or having similar dilemmas.
Mm-hmm. Just getting back to Eric, he wanted to know if the chat with the AI will continue to provide instructions if you keep the chat going. So is there more chat dialogue you can have? You can update
Not as
it.
such. What you do is you refine the prompt. So if you're not happy with the result, then you use that as feedback to you on why the prompt wasn't quite right. Like this is very likely to happen in many price formulas, particularly complex one. You're like, actually, I forgot to tell it about this aspect of the logic. So then you update your prompt and keep iterating. So it's not a continued conversation. It's a bit different to using ChatGPT or something conversational.
Mm-hmm. And Luigi, our developer, saying, yes, I do, in regards to coming up with math formulas. That's awesome.
I was wondering if he was watching while you were saying that. Yeah. So we've got a follow-up from Ian as well, who says, and this is about the question a minute ago about adding blocks to our plugins. Theoretically, we should do it faster and more, but you know how it is. I'm sure our policy is very similar to Kestrel's and many other companies on that we know we should be adding full support for blocks, but there's an opportunity cost for that. And I think our customers would rather have more features like the text preview in WooCommerce Product Options and new discount types for Discount Manager. All those things would be delayed if we added more blocks. So there are decisions to be made with these things.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, everyone.
There's another one from Eric. Will it instruct me how and where to add the formula in the settings of the plugin? That's a fair point. It tells you the formula, but it doesn't explicitly say go to go to product options, open up your product option group and enter it into your price formula. So actually that is fair feedback, which we can implement immediately after. Actually, I can do this in 5 minutes after this live stream. So I will say exactly where to go. I think that is fair.
Yeah, fair enough. Although I think for most people, they'll click on the price formula within the plugin, and then this would become useful for them at that point. Because before that step, you wouldn't even know what to ask for.
True. And also we are planning at some point to integrate it more fully so that you can actually launch the bot from the price formula field. It won't be on our knowledge base, but there are quite a lot of priority projects lined up before that, but ultimately we'll integrate it better. And in the meantime, I think, it doesn't hurt to actually tell people where to go in case they do arrive on the knowledge base first.
Yeah. All right. So Eric's going to test that out. Sweet. Thanks, Eric, for all the comments. I'm not sure if we said hello, but thank you for watching from Bangladesh. I know we have quite a few supporters there who enjoy our plugins. And yeah, thanks for watching.
So we had another one about product options, didn't we? Which was about contact lenses. Should we do that one next?
Yeah, I think that will probably be our last one if we're going to bring it in on the hour. So let's try it. So I'll bring up the question for product options plugin. We're building a contact lenses shop with WooCommerce where customers should be able to choose the gradation for the lenses for the left eye and for the right eye, and choose how many boxes of lenses to purchase for each eye. Is this possible with your plugin? Yeah. And are there any good examples on our demo of this that you can think of?
So what I think is a really great use case for the plugin, I'm tempted to produce a tutorial about this actually, because a lot of people do buy contact lenses online. So it's about what field types should we recommend. So the gradation is typically a drop down. So when I order contact lenses, it's a really long list of like minus 0.25, minus 5 up to, you know, massive numbers. So I would say that probably the drop down choice, which we've got flavor here, is probably best. You wouldn't want to have it as check boxes because it would just take up too much space on the page given the number of prescription options. So drop down would be good for that. And what was the other one? What you'd do is you would add a heading. Do you want to go to the computer one, Sam, which is has got headings in between? Just to show that there's a static content field in WooCommerce Product Options. So it's more like the one, first choose your core components, and 2, choose your storage. You could have left eye, right eye, and you don't have to number them. So you'd have left eye, and then you'd have the gradation drop down. And what was the other thing? How many boxes per eye? So you'd probably add a number field there as well. And you would then need to, I suppose, use a price formula using the bots, hopefully, to calculate the price.
Yeah, unless the actual, no, because the products you would have to modify them based on the product option selection. So yeah, having a number input field. Does this one have any input fields? But yeah, you set that up. And when you set up a number field, you can also set up minimum and maximum values. You can select only enter whole values. So they can't enter 1.5, for example, as an option. And then the price formula can take that whole number and turn it into a price for them. However, there's a small implication of quantity management or stock management. But given that you have so many different options, you'll probably have some issues with that anyways, right? Because people will order from their degradation, from boxes, how many they need and stuff. If you
could use variations, couldn't you? And that works with stock management. So the gradations could be variations. But
then could you do the quantity picker from there as well?
You'd have to use the products option. That's a good point. You'd have to use the products option type and not. Yeah, that's not quite so easy. It depends on whether you need stock management.
But if you need stock management, you could create a main product like contact lenses left, and then within that you could have the degradations values that you supply, that you stock, and then you could set up the product options plugin to pull those variations from WooCommerce and put them in the dropdown or in any other way that you want to display them, right?
Yeah, that could work. Yeah, Eric suggested that you could use our bulk variations plugin for this as well. So I'm just going to show that on the screen because we haven't introduced that today. He's obviously a power user. So I'll just go into this one. So let's say this is contact lens products and you've got the gradations. Actually, I'm going to go into a different one that's only got one attribute. Which one is that? I think toner. So here we've only got one row of variations. You could have this either horizontal or vertical, where you would be adding all of the different like minus 0.25, minus 5, whatever, as these options, either along or down, and then you've got a quantity field for each one, so you could do that. And then you'd need to use our product options plugin maybe underneath to indicate whether that is for the left or the right eye. So then I suppose they would choose the one for the left eye first, select left eye, add to cart, and then they would choose what they want for the right eye, add, select right eye and add to cart or something like that. So that's another option, depending on visually how you want to display those prescription options.
What about conditional fields? Would that be useful for left, right, or for showing the degradation values or something?
Yeah, you could have radio buttons for left and right eye, and then that would hide the options underneath. So when you select left eye, the left eye options would appear and vice versa. So if you didn't want to take up too much space on the page, then you could do that. That wouldn't work with bulk variations because it's just for product options, isn't it? The conditional logic. But if you were using product options, you could hide things if you wanted to keep it clean.
Yeah, I was thinking more like left and right you could have on the page, but with these large number of things to select from, maybe you could narrow it down a little bit more with conditional logic.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right.
So I think we're about done, aren't we?
I think so. I think we've answered as many questions as we can for this hour. So yeah, you can check out all of these past live streams on our YouTube page. You just go into the live section if you find our channel, and you can go back and see all of them. I add timestamps to all the videos, so you can actually go through and see literally when each question was answered and quickly jump to it. And then also there's a lot of links for the plugins that are used, as well as some of the other knowledge-based articles. So it's a really useful resource if you watch this live stream and you want to go back and see it. But our next live stream will be in July on, I believe, well, it's the
24th. Yeah.
24th. That's right. We have these nice little banner in the conclusion. Oh, there it is. Nice. Yeah. So our next live stream is 24th of July. And you can register for it on our website by going to the events section. And about a week before we go live, I put up the banner so you can also register from the top of the page there using the site banner. So we can actually, maybe we can close this one. So it's just us. All right, Katie, anything else?
No, I think that's everybody. So thank you everybody for watching. We've had some good questions, lots of different plugins to cover. So that's really good. And see you next month. Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.